Hello YouTube. um, Thank you for coming back to my channel. Just want to talk to you today about living paycheck to paycheck. um, you don't have to just try to break the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, and you will feel the stress lifted off your finances straight away. Once you start once you once you've made up your mind, you no longer want to live paycheck to paycheck. You want to break the cycle. The stress is lifted already because you've decided to make a decision to do it. So there are ways you can achieve this. There are ways you can achieve it, even if you think there's nothing you can do. There are so many bills, and there's way too much that's coming out, and it's beyond your control. And really there is, when you start to track your money, you start to track every single penny you're earning, becoming a good steward of your finances, then you will start looking for pockets of money where where it's going wasted, looking for subscriptions that you're not using, ways to cut your grocery bill, ways to cut your gas bill and electricity. It's not easy to do, but once you made that decision, you don't want to continue in the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. The solution will come to you. The universe will send you a solution that you will actually start to build wealth for yourself and start to think about your future. So although you know I've always saved, I could have saved a lot more than I have done. I could have done that. I wasn't living paycheck to paycheck, but I could have saved a lot more of my salary. So the way I approach it, because I've got a target, to reach. I've got the goal. I've got a financial goal that I need to reach in 8 years' time of paying my mortgage off on a average UK salary. So that's my goal, and that I'm just keeping that in mind when I'm spending anything. Sometimes it's inevitable, like Christmas. You want to give a Christmas present to somebody because we're all conditioned to believe that we need to give a Christmas present to somebody. But I'm not going mad. It's just for my children and my mum. Nobody else is getting a Christmas present from me. Even the children, they're only 7 and 1. They're not getting anything because they don't need anything. They have everything. They just give them a cardboard box and they will be happy. So they're not getting anything. I'm just buying a few things, that's all. But I'm keeping within my budget. I budgeted for it and I'm keeping within that. So you don't have to skimp on the you don't have to skimp. You don't have to be so frugal that you can't enjoy yourself. But be frugal so you don't have to be living paycheck to paycheck. As soon as your paycheck comes in, look at it. That's what you worked for the whole month. You've been getting up early in the morning. You have been getting ready for work, going to work, and then you're spending 8 hours coming home, and that's your money. You should be looking after that. That's the amount you've actually physically worked or mentally worked for. And so you don't want to be wasting that. You want to be making that work for you. If you need to work for that money, but then the money you receive should be working for you to make your life happy and stress-free. And you should have some money left over at the end of the month from that salary. Unless you're on a very low income, and we're not talking about those people who are on very low incomes and just barely making things meet. I'm just talking about in general. Most people do have a good disposable income, and they do have pockets where, you know, the money is just being wasted. So we're just looking for those. We're just looking for those holes, you know, where the money is just being wasted. So we're looking for those. So look at your your statements. Have a look where your money is going. The one thing, the good thing, the one thing you can do to kickstart all this is by not spending. By not spending, by default, the money stays in your account. You know, that's, if you're not spending, it will stay in your account. So make conscious, very, very conscious decisions about what you're spending. I went to Liverpool yesterday, and I'm so focused on my goal that the only thing I did was, I mean, I had to go for training, but when I went into John Lewis, I was so focused on buying a gift, you know, for my son. That's all I bought. You know, I had, you know, I satisfied my retail therapy. I walked around, I mooched around, and I thought, this is nice, this is lovely, this is lovely. But I didn't buy anything. You know, I thought, I don't need it, really. You know, if I don't achieve my financial goal at the end of 8 years, I'll still be working in the same place, the same boss, you know, just stressed because I can't do anything. I can't move forward in my life. So I thought, I have to sacrifice right now. I have to sacrifice everything I have, except, you know, going on holiday and balancing myself. I have to sacrifice all these little things so that I can achieve that goal. So then I'm, you know, I can actually email my boss and say, I want to reduce my hours. I need to do that. That's the only way I can achieve that. So by not spending and having no spend days, you know, can really kickstart. You know, no spend days means just not spending money on luxuries. Luxuries including coffee out, or lunch, or breakfast out. You know, when you go to work, just take a packed lunch. Do that once a week. Start off once a week, and then see how it goes. Because by doing that, you don't realize how much money you are actually spending on lunch and coffee out. Because I didn't. You know, I was spending. I was going out. I was having coffee. I'm quite ashamed right now, because I shouldn't be drinking so. I mean, I shouldn't be having so much coffee out. So I was drinking coffee, and when I stopped doing that, because I just stopped. When I stopped doing that, I could see my bank account. I could see, you know, it was no longer slim. You know, it was. I had money in the account, and when I stopped buying in charity shops, I noticed the money was staying on my account, and felt good. It felt good, and so now I just go to charity shops. I just mooch around, and I don't buy anything, which is wonderful. Like yesterday, I just mooched around a charity shop. I thought, this is pretty, that is pretty, but I didn't buy anything. So the money has stayed in my account. And when I looked at my balance today, I thought, oh, I'm so glad I didn't buy anything yesterday. I am so glad I didn't. There was a Christmas market on, which is really nice, really pretty. There are so many stalls there, but because I wasn't hungry, you know, I'd already eaten. I didn't fancy anything. So, you know, one way you can just stop living paycheck to paycheck is look after all your pennies. Don't be impulsive. Plan your meals. Plan, you know, what you're going to take to for lunch the following day. If you cook something today, not only does it save you money for tomorrow. It probably tastes better as well because you've got all the spices and the flavors coming through overnight. So it will taste better the following day. You feel better. You won't be wasting time looking for lunch at lunchtime. It's just a waste of time. But, that's the way you have to approach your finances and stop living paycheck to paycheck. You can increase your income. You can do that, do overtime. But do you really want to do that? By reevaluating your finances, getting some control, you won't have to do any overtime because that's more temptation to spend more. To spend more coffee, and you won't reevaluate yourself, your own life, by having more money, because I did that as well. I was doing loads of overtime. I was working all the time, doing overtime, but that money, it was still being spent because I hadn't, overhauled my finances. I hadn't, my behavior hasn't changed. So my behavior was still the same. My behavior was still to buy coffee. But now, my spending behavior has changed. So I don't need to do overtime. I can spend that time doing something wholesome, like maybe going for a walk, but I don't really like going for long walks. Or maybe just driving somewhere, or just staying at home, or seeing my grandchildren. I don't have to do all that overtime because my behavior has changed. So if you change your behaviors, you won't have to think about, perhaps I need to have, another job just to make ends meet. Usually you don't have to. I mean, when I looked at all my finances, I thought, I'm just wasting hundreds of pounds, unnecessarily. And this money can go towards my future. So I won't have to rely on government assistance in the future because I don't want to be relying on anybody to pay my bills. And that is how I like to live my life. Is I work now, I'm fit, I'm still well, I can work so that I can pay for my gas and electricity when I need it in the future. And this is the way, this is the noble way to live your life, is by not relying on anybody. We're not relying on government assistance. And that's all I just want to say. Don't live paycheck to paycheck. Sort it out. You've got 2025 to sort it out, and just do it. And you will feel the stress just lifted when you actually realize that you want to stop this behavior. You want to start thinking about the future. Then you will start to feel better about yourself, about the future, and just give yourself a break. That's all I want to say. Thank you.